my points are actually that how this sort of informal groups or how informal groups are actually structured and how this sort of power could be later realized. And certainly that from the structures, again, it was said already there that the networks and complexity, these are really the important the sort of structural elements. Now, the problem is, in networks, for example, how large the groups actually could be that could communicate between themselves. And there is the cognitive limit. So that you should, Alberta, know that quite well what is all that. And this is the cognitive limit to the number of people with whom one can maintain stable social relationships. I hope that you're familiar with this sort of argument and the sort of quantitative, the sort of limit is so-called Dunbar number. And as far as this is the course for a postgraduate course, I should ask the younger people that you know about Dunbar number. Do you know Dunbar number? What is it? Dunbar number. So that you should ask the question first, how many people can you remember? Second, how many people do you know on average? Then you could ask that how many people can you care about? And then you can also ask how many serious relationships does the average person have? So that what could be this number? Any idea? Any idea? How large is it? This was actually found or proposed by an anthropologist, Robin Dunbar, about 25 years ago, and the number is 150. Take it or leave it. So that he actually started from anthropology and certainly went to the past and pointed out the size of the Roman legions and then the villages and all that sort of about. But now we should ask that, come on, so we live in a contemporary society. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have whatever. Could this number, this 150, could be now the difference? And that's quite an interesting sort of question. And Dunbar himself actually published a paper just this year, exactly trying to analyze the situation from the contemporary society. That when you have all these sort of social possibilities to communicate, and then you sit on the Facebook and you use Twitter and all that sort of thing, that could there be the different sort of estimates? Well, actually, Winston started from the nucleus, the family. You pointed out that the family is really this sort of, the main nucleus of the social, this informal group, which is, formalized actually. And then that what was evident that there are certainly some kind of layers, but nevertheless, all these statistical, these sort of studies have shown that this 150 is, it goes on. It might be 160, a little bit different. There is a certain difference between gender, so that's maybe it's from females, it's a little bit larger than for male, but this is as the studies show. But certainly one should now understand the possible levels, so that if you really start to understand that or ask the questions that they're very such kind of strong links, then the number is smaller. And if you come to the weaker links, this number could be much larger. So that the further, what Dunbar already has mentioned, it's maybe 500. Or maybe even more than 1,000. So that this is exactly the reflection of the contemporary society when we have all these means of communication and the possibility to sit and online and have the sort of links. So that in this sense this is something that we should know, that when we think about this informal social power. Now the next question about the structures is the hierarchy. Is there this hierarchy important? Because usually we know that from the how the community is built up, it's also a certain hierarchy. Well, it could be a monarchy, but usually in a democratic society we elect. We elect the government, we elect the parliament, we elect the parliament, and they appoint usually the government, and so on. And so that it goes with all these regulations exactly like Winston has explained a minute ago. But there could be also, again, it comes from the anthropology, not the hierarchy, but the heterarchy. It means that it's not ranked like in hierarchy, but the groups are unranked, so that they are somehow equal, not exactly equal in some kind of things somehow, but you can't say that it comes from top to the down the understanding, or vice versa from the bottom up. So that these structures, if we speak about or try to discuss about the informal social power, we have to take into account that there is some kind of cognitive limits that we must understand, and certainly that the structures could be somehow, organized in a different way, hierarchically or heterarchically. So that these are also the studies which are pretty interesting. And now the next question is that again Winston has explained how it comes from the official side, that how these regulations are formulated, and how the lobbyists could organize it somehow that it later becomes a rule, or the legal side is established. But actually, the much more interesting for us now is how the social groups actually intervene and how they could organize the meaning. And this is I'm not a social scientist, so that I haven't, whatever I read before this sort of this course, I couldn't find actually anything very special that could explain that how the rule. I can bring the example from my own country, Estonia, which is a very small country actually, and now this sort of society has become more active and more active. And what we do now is every summer there are some kind of discussion days, if I may say so. So that this is organized. This is organized in a small place. About 50 sort of platforms. People are able to attend. That there are panelists exactly as we are here, and the discussion is brought up, and later will be formulated then somehow as a proposal to the parties, to the government, and so on. Something is realized, something is not, as it usually goes, but this is one possibility. In Switzerland, for example, as you know, the referendum is very well organized, and this voice comes actually to the government and its findings, so that they take it very, very seriously. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what I said, that it was about this sort of structural part, which I find very interesting, actually, how this contemporary society is organized and whether this number is a good measure or not. And then second, about how these ideas are realized, and this I have no idea. I was shown that it's exactly to the end of my comment. So thank you.